Hey everybody, Jeremy here with a quick start guide, a casual quick start guide to getting started in Age of Wushu. I'm going to cover things like your first few quests, getting into your quest storyline, the daily quests, cultivation, and the few different nice tutorial guides that are actually built into the game, but not very intuitive and not easy to, not very easy to read, and sometimes easy to pass up. So, one of the first things you do is pick a storyline when you create your character, and then when you're actually in the game, you will have a quest log appear in your right hand side of your screen, like I do. Mine's full. You should have one quest in there, one, maybe two. But that's your starting quest. It's pretty important. The learning curve in this game is much higher than in traditional MMOs. This game is huge and very different. So follow those quests, and not only do they introduce you to some aspects and features of the game, but they do lead right into your storyline quests, which go for a long time. Then what you can do is you'll read the rules and the guides. That will really help you get started. And another thing is that you can check out the help guides, and as soon as we load into another zone here, I'll open up those books and show you where they're at and how to use them. But there's a help guide that's pretty much divided into categories, and under each category is a bunch of checkmark objectives. For instance, right here in the top right by your mini-map, you'll see a big book with a question mark on it. There's a tiny one to the right of your mini-map, but we're looking at the big one on the bottom left. Click it, and it opens up the Novice Guide. Now the Novice Guide is very handy. It's separating all these categories. As you can see, I'm opening and closing categories. You can start at the top and work your way down if you want, to have some guidance to help get you introduced into this giant sandbox, yet with theme park elements kind of game. For instance, the experience guide, you might have to glean a little bit of information on it because it might not be that clear and precise, but it should help you understand what's going on. And one of the nice things is that if it tells you to go to an NPC, their names are highlighted in green, which means you can actually click on them. And I'll stop and click on this person, and see, it creates an auto path, so it'll just take me to that person, and then I can work on fulfilling that objective. And this is kind of introductory stuff. It sounded wrong there saying it, but there's acquiring your internal skills and stuff, and then there again you can click on the name of the NPC to just go there. So definitely read through, and don't forget to hit the page down button too to read more. It's sort of like paging over, and then you can hit return to go back. Another thing is it will get you introduced even into later things, like here's your literature and arts, which is basically your life skills. So that's something else to look into. I've already looked into all mine. I've picked Way Key Player, which is basically like the game of Go in America. They call it Go. So that's something else. The smaller guide here is helpful. It's more of just for reading, and more of covering super basics all the way up to specific elements in Age of Wushu. As you can see, it does have very basic stuff like how to run. Well, that's pretty obvious, right? But still, it has other things, like it shows you how to make a video, because there's a built-in video recorder, although I use Fraps. So here's how to trade, multiplayer trade. This talks about the Mai Jianghu, which I will briefly hit on, just to point you. Actually, let's look at it right now. There's a thing called Mai Jianghu in the bottom left of the screen. Click on it, and it opens up a new screen, which is basically like your character progression area. It's a place for you to track your lore. You have lore cards you can uncover and exploration. You have identity information where this is where your achievement window is at. But you can access the achievement window from in-game as well. It also keeps track of records, so you can keep track of the top 100 in any skill. For instance, I can check my, let's try woodcutter. I can check mine. I'm level 30. I'm ranked 30 out of 100 players in the game. So this is an area for you to just sort of check your progress. You can also hit the My Life button and you'll see the UI change. This changes from the battle screen to where it has your health points and your energy to showing your physical strength and your nutrition level, because you can starve and you need to eat to get back your nutrition so you don't starve. And it also, when you're off of your horse, it changes the combat screen at the bottom to your life skills. So like miner, you can open up mining. Now I'm not going to dive too much into this right now. This specific stuff is for you. This is a casual, quick start guide I'm doing. So that's the basics for that. And one of the last things I want to talk about, there's two of them, but one of the last things I want to talk about is once you start getting a little bit familiar and you know you're diving into your quests and you're going along your storyline, you're learning your skills, you've learned how to cultivate, which is, they'll tell you how to cultivate, but basically you can click the Buddha button up here or click your skills button, go back to the My Battle screen, and then there's a skill button right here. This is your skill book, which will have all your skills that you ever find and learn. They're books that you have to learn. And then you can click on any of the skills you want, and then you hit cultivate up here. And it puts it up here, and that means you're leveling that skill. I recommend, once you get your school skill, which you will very early from doing the tutorial, you'll learn how to do that very, very early on. And you'll get your school skill. And I recommend leveling it and only it until about level 15 to 20. Actually, maybe even 20 or 21, because it will help greatly in your ability to learn to use other external like attacks and stuff that you learn later on. Like mine's at level 17 now. It'll take a long time, but you'll learn about meditation, which speeds that up. But you'll learn that through, if you follow these tutorials and follow the storyline quests, they'll introduce you to that stuff, like team practice and how to actually set your skill. So, you know, that's all you need to know for this casual quick start guide. But another thing is setting your teleport. This is very helpful because the game is gigantic. You hit the letter T for Tom on your keyboard, and it brings up the teleport menu. Now you will have 2 free teleports, one to your school and one back to the city you started in. But below that you'll have 4 areas to extend. Now I've already extended the first one. What you'll do is you'll click on it like this one, and it will say you will consume 2 Liang silver coins for the first one. Now that's your in-game money that you get for free. Let me open up my bag. See, that's the coins down here that you get for doing quests. That's what you get for selling to NPCs. And so it's sort of like a freebie. This is like your freebie slot. Now these other ones cost actual silver, which is this up above my silver coins right here. It's actual silver. And right now it's a lot of like bound silver, which you can only get by spending real life money to buy gold in the game, which then can be converted to silver. But this first one is a freebie, and then you just hit wherever you're at, whatever city you're in. I'm in Luoyang, up in the top right of my map, you'll see. And I can hit the plus bar, and it will open up all the different areas I can assign to that teleport within Luoyang. I could do the city mortuary, the herbal hall, the Yamen herbal hall, temple herbal, you know. And I could set that if I wanted to. I'm not going to set it yet. But that's very handy because the game is gigantic if you look at the whole world. I mean, it takes a long time, even by horse, to go from like southwest to North China. And lastly, which is really good, once you're getting the hang of things and really diving into the game, hit the N button, N for no, and it opens up a very helpful daily mission window, and it covers a lot more. But this is a place you can do daily tasks to get extra experience that will be converted to cultivation points. You can do things like, bam, your school task here. You can do school script protection, which you'll learn about this stuff, like school patrol, school spy. You'll learn about that stuff if you do what I told you about sticking with the storyline quests and read this novice guide and the other guide. Plus, you can ask a little bit in chat too if you are really that stuck. But this is your daily task, and it gives you information on other stuff, and it even gives you information on the dungeon instances. Like the first one you do is Twilight Village. It gives you information on it. So that's very cool, especially if you want to get into dungeon diving right away and get into the instances. And that's gonna about wrap it up for this casual quick start guide to Age of Wushu. Now I'm gonna try to do another fancy one with bullet points and bring out words and everything, and being way more formal about it, and being very formal about it and structuring it better. I wanted this one to be very off the cuff and natural speaking, so it'd be a little more fun, maybe a little more interesting to read or listen to, and pay attention to, and try to keep it shorter. So look forward to that more in-depth guide in the near future. And if you have any comments and questions, something I didn't cover, something you want to know more about, ask in the comments section below, and I'll get to those as quickly as I can. And I'll see you guys in the next video.